Join me, Mark Windows, with Tony Hurst for Windows on the World live every Sunday 9 to 11 p.m. GMT at autonomousmedia.net.
We're going to start off with an update of Mark's legal wranglings that have been going on. How's your week, Mark?
Not too bad, Tony. This thing is kind of going on and on and on, and very interestingly, they seem to be digging themselves a deeper and deeper hole. I sent 2 notices to Alan Pughsley, the Chief Constable of Kent. The first one was about a month ago now. Then I followed that up because he'd accepted everything I said. He's got this minion to write back to me called Sonia Gransden, and she's basically said that she has full delegated authority. But on the notices, I said to Alan Pughsley in personam, so I don't know which part of that they don't understand. But since then, I've been on Richie Allen's show. We did quite a long interview on it and brought all the points up. So I would like people to go and have a listen to those if they haven't done already, because it might bring to mind something that's happened to them. Because we got Kent Crimestoppers' Most Wanted Gallery taken down, the whole of Kent's Most Wanted Gallery.
So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at Kent Crimestoppers website. Here we go, you can see the URL, nice and secure. And as we can see, we're on the Most Wanted page, and according to Kent Police, or whoever it is that's putting this stuff up on here, there's only one person, and a few days ago there was 250 people on here. So the question is, what happened to the rest of them? If you want to know the answer, you need to stay in touch at windowsontheworld.net, because on there we will be doing a show that tell you exactly what happened to these people and why. It's a bit of a story. I think you'll like it.
And this was on the back of somebody who'd been put up there, a friend of mine, and I outlined the problems that Kent Police have got with this to Lord Ashcroft, who's the Chair of Trustees of Crimestoppers. In other words, that he's liable for people who are put up there. So it appears that people are put onto Crimestoppers by any police that really want to put your picture up there. I mean, there was a case that we've already discussed of 2 PCSOs who are now in prison. These are glorified traffic wardens who accused a man of a hit and run on there, and he was completely innocent. But what this Crimestoppers does is it prejudices cases, it blackens people's names, and I think it's getting people to go on the run, because a lot of these people are wanted on bail warrants. Now, they may not know about the court case. They might not have legal representation. Some of these courts are very, very disorganized, and the bureaucracy is not always good. So basically, if you find yourself on Most Wanted, it could be just that a cop has taken a dislike to you and put you up there. And I've been over this to the Wanted Persons Bureau of Kent. I've had a lot of correspondence with them, and it's absolutely fascinating because the internal processes they use are merely gatekeeping. Most people would know that. Listen to this show. But they're on a level that you could not possibly imagine. For instance, we actually asked for this audio CD of this lady's interview because I believe that the transcript has been doctored. The transcript contains phrases that she doesn't know. There's actually even a point which they've left in where the interview should have been terminated because she's clearly distressed and she hasn't got a medication. Now, the latest excuses in getting this audio CD that was actually ordered by the solicitor on the 15th of November 2015 have gone on and on and on. And some of the excuses have actually been so ridiculous that you couldn't make them up, but they do. For instance, I got a letter back from the IPCC because I went to them about it, and they said, you can't have it under the Data Protection Act. Well, I never asked for it. It was requested by the solicitor. These are the sort of games that they play with you. Then they said that because there was an appeal in place, which there wasn't, that we'd have to go to the CPS. This is what the CPS and the police do. They send you back and forward to each other. And the CPS are just as bad. We've gone over that in those shows. But now they're telling me, the latest one is, I'm out of time, or we're out of time to get it. Now, I don't think there's any statutory limit on them actually handing this over because it's in their own database. But there's clearly something on that tape they don't want us to hear, or there's clearly something in the transcript that doesn't correspond with the tape, which is what I'm accusing them of. Now, this is the last email I had from the minion Sonia Granson, who has full delegated authority for Pughsley, who's this absolutely treacherous person who's hiding in his office and will not actually get involved. Now, when you remember that Lord Ashcroft, the head of trustees of Crimestoppers, is involved in this, and he's ordered them to take down their whole most wanted gallery, you would think that their chief constable might actually respond, but no. I've asked for his resignation in my last notice, and I hope people who are listening to this, if they've had problems with Kent Police, get in touch, because I want to bring a class action against Kent Police because they are libelling people from that Crimestoppers website. For instance, this lady got put onto an online publication called Kent Live. Now, these publications go all over the country. There's one called Wales Online and all the rest of it. They're kind of generic things that go through the country. Well, this Kent Live actually libelled her. They put her picture on from Crimestoppers when she was on Crimestoppers, and they said wanted for rape, robbery and people trafficking, and her picture was in the top right-hand corner. It's a clear libel. So the seriousness of this cannot be sort of undermined, and I think I've got Kent Police on the run, but here's the last derisory excuse, which I accused them of derisory excuses many times, and this is the latest one. It says, I am aware that you made contact directly with the Legal Services Department on Friday, 10th of November, and that you have been fully advised that the request from Saunders solicitors for the interview required for an appeal is now out of the set time parameters. Well, nothing of the sort happened. In fact, what we should do now, Tony, is play the actual recording of that phone call that I made to Legal Services on Friday, the 10th of November. This is the one they're referring to, which they clearly haven't listened to.
Yep, okay, here we go.
Good afternoon, Legal Services, Sarah speaking.
Hello there. I just want to get some reaction from you about an audio of an interview that was requested on the 15th of November 2015 by recorded delivery. And 2 years later, all this we've had from Legal Services and the IPCC at Kent are excuses and lies and obfuscation. Now, the transcript of this interview appears to have been doctored. The police involved with this case perverted the course of justice and destroyed evidence. I have evidence of that, which is going into the public domain. Now, Alan Pughsley has failed to respond to all of my correspondence over the last 2 weeks. We're going to put it in the public domain on Monday that he's refused to respond. And he accepts now everything that we're saying, and it's going on national radio. So for the last time, I'm going to read out something that was sent from your legal department by Mr. Giovanni Cicciario on the 22nd of the 9th, 2017, just in case people in the Legal Services Department aren't aware of the law. It states here in my request to him about disclosure of defence evidence. This is from your legal department. The Police Service and the Crown Prosecution Service have disclosure obligations under the Criminal Procedure and Investigations Act of 1996. In particular, there is a duty to disclose material obtained during the course of an investigation which is capable of undermining the case for the prosecution or assisting the case of the defence, subject to public interest immunity. That was also from your Legal Services Department on the 22nd of the 9th, 17, along with many other emails which I'll be putting into the public domain. And we have never had that audio. Kent Police have that audio, if indeed it exists, and if it doesn't exist, we need to know why, because the interview transcript has got no audio tape reference number and no officer number. So we're going to accuse Kent Police of not only perverting the course of justice, not only of assaulting a witness to prevent that witness giving evidence, not only just destroying evidence, but also putting people on the Crimestoppers website who shouldn't be there because they've all been removed. Alan Pughsley has, by taking all of those people, over 250 people, off your most wanted website, admitted they shouldn't have been there in the first place. Someone's life has been ruined because of Kent Police, and on Monday it's going on national radio. What have you got to say about that?
I'll make a note of your comments and pass it on accordingly.
Okay, so why have we not had the audio CD?
I can't comment, obviously, on what other departments.
No, I'm talking about your department. You're the Legal Services Department, aren't you?
You sent it through on the 15th of November by recorded delivery.
2015.
Sorry,
2015.
Oh, 2015?
Yes. That's why I'm...
right.
The reason I'm calling you is because we're now putting all this in the public domain. We've had Kent Crimestoppers' Most Wanted gallery removed. I got in touch with Lord Ashcroft and he's acted accordingly. He's the only person to act accordingly. Kent Police have acted against the public interest, as they have before, and have been exposed for doing so. So now they're going to be exposed again. And all of the people that I've been involved with, all of those emails are going public on Monday. So I wanted to know, is there any chance that you can remedy this for me today and make sure that CD is sent to us by Monday morning?
I can obviously undertake some inquiries to see what...
Sorry. Inquiries have been going on for 2 years. Obfuscation and lies have been going on for 2 years. I've got all the emails. They're ridiculous. The excuses are absolutely an insult, basically, to the public that you serve. They're an insult. And they're all public now. And I have all the phone calls as well. They're all recorded.
So this phone call's recorded then, is it?
Every phone call is recorded.
My phone call with you now is being recorded, is it?
I'm asking you for a comment. Are we going to get that CD by Monday or not?
I will undertake some inquiries and we'll respond to you. Do you have an email address that we can respond to you on?
You have all my details.
Okay, we'll undertake some inquiries and we'll respond to you accordingly. Okay?
Hang on a minute. If I don't hear from you by the end of today and that audio CD has not been found and sent, we are going to state that Kent Police are once again perverting the course of justice. Is that clear?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll make a note.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Yep, that's fine. I'll make a note. How frustrating, Mark. You've been going at this for over 2 years now. It must be incredibly hard to cope with things like that. And now the pork pies that are coming as a result of that call, now you can prove them to be liars again.
Yes, but the funny thing is that that's the whole call. And at no time did she acknowledge anything about it. And she certainly didn't say we were out of time for an appeal. So Sonia Gransden at Kent Police is a liar too, or is she lying on their behalf? I mean, the lies are incredible, and it says here, Detective Superintendent Nick Gossett will be writing to you directly with the regards to the outcome of their assessment of these complaints. These are the other complaints I pointed. So you've got this professional standards department, which is going to write back a load of nonsense to me as well. I mean, I don't know what part they don't understand, that I'm removing them from the picture. They're not competent. And they're not fit for purpose. I've already told them that. I've already told them that their own legal services department is not fit for purpose. I've told them that their professional standards department is exactly the same. And I keep reiterating that they are not competent and capable of investigating themselves, but they seem to keep thinking that they can do it.
Yeah, it's a pretty shocking state of affairs.
Well, it is really. And the last thing I sent to Pughsley was that he accepted everything. So he's accepted everything I said. I've said, for instance, like, you accept that the removal of Miss Rye from Kent Crimestoppers' Most Wanted gallery following our complaint to Lord Ashcroft about the treatment of Miss Rye and the libelling of her through your third-party agents resulted in the entire Kent Police Most Wanted Crimestoppers gallery being removed by yourself. You accept that you have branded hundreds of people as Most Wanted through your Wanted Persons Bureau and placed them on the Crimestoppers website. And you now admit by their removal that this was not only unnecessary, but grossly misleading to the public and extremely detrimental to the people you unnecessarily placed on the site. You admit personal and professional liability under the indemnity of Kent Police for future claims and class action, which will be brought by those you have libelled. It carries on. There's plenty in there. But it goes into the legal. You accept that your legal services department, professional standards and the IPCC have all failed to supply evidence which they have a legal duty to supply. You accept that these organisations were given a final chance to remedy on 10th of the 11th, 17. So that's when they're talking about, they're stating that I was told on the 10th of the 11th, 17 that we were out of time to get the CD. Well, nothing of the sort was said, and it's not true. Of course, it's not out of time. And they've stitched themselves up again because everything is in their inbox. They've got it all. They've responded to everything I've said. And I just want to get a few people together who may have had trouble with Crimestoppers or feel they've been libelled, because people on Crimestoppers have been libelled through these newspapers, or anybody who thinks they've been wrongly charged by Kent Police. I mean, they've perverted the course of justice, they assaulted me, they destroyed evidence, and they basically stitched someone up. And they must be doing this all the time because they've been done for it before. 5 of their officers were arrested at their own desks for doing it in 2014. So their internal investigations must not always turn a blind eye. So in this case, I hope they don't. You know, people may have listened to these shows, but if you haven't, I would urge you to do it. And it's not really about it's sort of like listen to the show. It's about the information in there, because I'm livid about this. And most of the stuff we cover, I mean, I've had experiences with these bailiff companies, with civil disputes, with all the rest of it. But when it goes to criminal and someone's going to get put in prison for something they haven't done, then it gets a bit more personal and it's a bit more irritating, especially since I've been violated by these criminals at Kent Police myself, you know. So, yeah, that's my soapboxing for this week anyway. But I did an interview with Richie Allen last week, and there's 2 interviews, one with Chuck actually, on the site. And I would really, really appreciate it if people could share them, because I'm trying to get something going here, because there must be so many people who Kent Police have done this to, and I really do want to go for them because they're so arrogant and incompetent. They're basically incompetent, but they're criminals. We need to get them arrested at their desks again. And this Pughsley, I want him dragged out of his office and publicly humiliated.
Yeah, I bet you do. Okay.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it's not funny, really, though, because this has been going on 2 years. And it's scary that the police can do this, that they can just create a crime and put somebody in prison. Yeah. Basically torture them in custody as well, you know.
Yeah, it is scary. It's if we can't trust the police to uphold the law, then who can we trust with anything, you know? And why should they expect other people to be upholding the law? And this is not like down the bottom. Well, it is. It's from the top to the bottom at the minute, or the bottom to the top, the other way around it started. And, you know, it makes me think, well, yeah, well, how are you doing that job? What is it that made them swear those oaths in the first place and that, you know? What's going on here? It is scary.
Well, I think they swore their oath to contribute to the crime farming in Kent, because Kent is the crime farming garden of England, you know. So that's probably what their oath is, to do more crime farming in Kent.
Is the site back up now? Is there anything on there yet? I haven't looked at it the last few days.
Yeah, there's one page of people. If you go to Kent Crimestoppers Most Wanted Gallery, there's one page of people. But worryingly, they're wanted for bail warrants. Now, this is the problem they had before, because I think it's just could be these people may not know they're wanted. But if you're a foreigner in another country, I said this on Richie's show, I mean, if you're a foreigner in another country and your friend says, you're most wanted, you're on the most wanted gallery, you're a most wanted criminal, they're going to go on the run, aren't they? They're going to go, God, this country's really bent. The police have stitched me up for something. I'm going to have to go on the run. So I think it's creating people going on the run. I think it's creating crime. But again, it all helps with the crime farming, doesn't it? Join me, Mark Windows, with Tony Hurst for Windows on the World Live every Sunday, 9 to 11 p.m. GMT at autonomousmedia.net.